To be clear, because people like you prefer to argue with your straw man, that right there is a fucking straw man, and not my actual position. I am not dogmatically or irrationally religious. In fact, I tell people not to be religious. Yeah, because I know that. I've known you for so long, logical concept. I am not a Christian and I am not technically a Jew, although because I would know that, right? Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to backtrack here. What's your name? Yeah, logical concept. Going backwards. You are right not to blindly believe, but you need to actually study the Hebrew Bible and apply logic where claiming it's nonsense. What? I have no desire to read any Bible. I don't know. Oh, that was after. Okay, so what the fuck? Alright, what's your response to me? If God, the source of all that exists, including us, didn't exist, we would be bad news for... That would be bad news for us and literally fucking everything. But that's the simple and standard answer for that same reason. For that some reason doesn't click with atheists and didn't do much for me when I was younger. If God, the source of all that exists, including us, didn't exist, that would be bad news for... Why would it be bad news? You just said you weren't fucking religious. So what are you on about, logical? How would it be bad news for us? Simple answer. For some reason it doesn't click with atheists and didn't do much. What are you talking about? You don't explain why either. I mean, what the fuck? If God didn't exist, that would be bad news for us and literally fucking everything up. Literally fucking everything, though. What do you want about? You got a bunch here for me. Look at all this shit. What's the matter with you? Another asshole who likes to rapid fire replies. You show me some kid who teaches themselves lets God show them without defiance is more like it. Their timetables or something, and who calls X what it is rather than whining. Why does X have to be X? What the fuck are you talking about? You also misunderstand that sin is simply an error in logical reasoning, and yes, people... What? Okay, what did I ask? Why do you want God to exist? And you say you don't. I want people to stop defying logic and being intellectually dishonest. You probably want God not to exist so that you don't have to eat crow. So you're not religious, but you're feeding me the same religious bullshit, straw man nonsense, and you call them yet you accuse, which would be a self-projection because you accuse me of feeding you a fucking straw man. Yeah, that's why I don't want God to exist. You figured it out. You nailed it. You don't, but yet you say you don't either. You're an asshole. You say you don't. You want people to stop defying logic and being intellectually dishonest. Then you accuse me of not wanting God to exist so I can eat crow and be held accountable. What gives you the idea that I don't want to be... Well, I mean, obviously I would expect to be held accountable. I don't like it, but that's how it is. It would only be fair because we exist the way we are. We're mortal and invulnerable. Mortal and vulnerable. And if God does exist, that's his fucking fault. If not, that's nature's fucking fault. You're an asshole. Really. To tell me what I don't want and why I don't want it. Go fuck yourself, logical. How is that logical? You call yourself logical concept, but you're the exact opposite of logical. And you want people to stop defying logic and being intellectually honest. What are you doing here? What is that? How is this logically or intellectually honest? To tell me why I don't want God to exist. Fucking dickhead. No one really liked defining God as nothing or non-existent because nothing... Who is defining God as nothing or non-existent? Well, nothing. Obviously, we believe he's non-existent, but you said nothing there. Because nothing is a more reasonable God than logic. What? What are you talking about? Who was saying anything about logic in that? What? No one really liked defining God as nothing or non-existent because nothing is more reasonable. Nothing is a more reasonable... What? Who is saying logic is... Okay. I don't even know what the hell you're trying to say here. But rather because of nothing is God, then they can make themselves... I asked you what... Okay, you answered that question. You don't. Which I'm not used to. But the problem is you go on and all this bullshit. That's the problem here. And it's usually people not... Or it's usually Christians not answering the question. Fuck. Would we be sinners if God either didn't want obedience or didn't create life? Only once I came to understand the Torah and Mashi's one true God is what we all call logic. What do you want about? Did I ask anything about the Torah? Did I ask anything about the one true God? Did I ask about anything about what people call logic? What? What are you on about? You, like 99% of the people who think they know... I never said anything about the Bible. When the fuck did I say I know the Bible? I don't. The only all I know about the Bible is what the Christians preach and what'll I look up after the Christians preach at me. Stupid fucking asshole. You're so arrogant. More like arrogant and intellectually dishonest concept. That's you. Strawman concept. Jewish philosophy. You're just talking on and on and on, rambling just to see yourself type. Sin is simply an error. I go by what Christians say sin is. I don't have a definition of sin. I don't believe sin exists. Get it? I'm not a Christian. You have some issues here, buddy.